Hi, welcome to this week's episode. Today we're going to be looking at trait or gate 11, which is all around ideas and this coming to this place of peace. This gate, the energy that comes with this gate is the need to share these ideas that are coming through. And it's connected to the abstract circuitry, which is all about experience and it's about the past. So ultimately, these past experiences or these past reflections are kind of feeding into where the ideas come from. So we're looking back at the past, we're looking back at our memory, and it's visual memory that we're accessing. And it's specifically around the left eye. So we're being able, anything about the past, as soon as we are accessing something from the past, we never get the complete picture. We don't see the whole picture. We're just remembering aspects of it. And it's very subjective. It's a subjective seeing because it's through our own lens. We're remembering, the ups and the downs of that particular experience and how it went for us. And we kind of bias towards remembering only certain parts of that and leaving some of them out. So when we're trying to make sense of the past, there's always going to be this selective remembering, and we process these experiences and we then conceptualize, or we reflect on them, and then we conceptualize them into an idea that we have around that past experience. So this realization, coming to some type of realization, is an abstract process, and it's based on memory. So there's a very high likelihood that there are no facts involved, right? We're not coming to it through facts. We're coming through it to a reflection on, a realization about a past experience that we've had. And so it's both a subjective and reflective process. And ultimately what's going to happen is this idea is going to land around whatever we experienced from the past, and then there's going to be this need to share it with somebody. The interesting thing about ideas is that ideas, when they hang around in our space for long enough, they kind of formulate into something else. They move from an idea into an ideal. And then once an ideal sits around long enough, that moves into a belief. And once a belief has been around long enough, that kind of goes into a belief system. So if you're tracking where belief systems potentially come from, they come from a subjective reflection of a past experience that we've had that's not based on fact. And so what I would really encourage you to do is to take a look at, what ideals, beliefs, and belief systems are currently a part of your life, and how did you come to having those as part of your life? Because when we look just at ideas and we don't step them into ideals, beliefs, and belief systems, they're just about stimulating reflection and having this possibility of some kind of inspiration coming into our lives. And when you have this energy in your field, whether it's because it's moving through, for all of us at the moment, it's in the collective field, or it's part of your design, you're always looking for ideas because you want to have this stimulation and this reflection, and you want others to be stimulated by your ideas. So you're looking for stimulation and to stimulate. Now, because the 11th gate is in the ajna, or the conceptualizing area, and it's pointing down towards the throat, which is where communication and action is, the energy coming down to the throat is about expression, about expressing what you see. And it's not necessarily about actions. It's not about taking an action. It's about an expression of an idea for inspiration, for some kind of way of stimulating reflection through whatever process we're going through, or for whatever experiences we've had. Where the big issue comes in is that most people get ideas and then think that they are some kind of rule book or instructions for how to live life. And they'll go, oh, I've got this great idea, so I'm going to take this action and I'm going to do these things, and this is going to revolutionize my life, and it's going to solve all of my life dilemmas, and I'm going to make a decision from this place. But when they're used in this way, they're only going to lead to frustration and probably a lot of confusion, because it's going to send you ping-ponging, bouncing all over the place. And then ultimately at the end, there's this disappointment, because the idea, didn't lead to anything significant. And ideas are designed to come and go. They're not prescriptions for action. So I would caution you in this current week to really invest, to really get like this keen observer at what ideas are coming into your world at the moment, and are you using them purely for stimulation and inspiration and reflection, or have you stepped into thinking that this is how I need to live my life, this is an instruction for action for me to take in my life? And then just noticing, like, if you have used the ideas as an instruction, where does that lead you? Does it lead you into confusion or disappointment, and potentially even bigger crises that come out of that? When you can really learn to just savor and enjoy these stimulating ideas about your past memories just for what they are, rather than really needing to do anything with them, you can just learn to share them with other people as a form of inspiration. Because ultimately, when we're looking at human design and the BG5 system, a lot of what's going on for us in the conceptualization and in the mind can be used to share with others, and it can inspire and transform and mutate and bring change and really help other people. But when we turn it in personally and try to use it as a way to navigate our own lives, is when we kind of get unstuck. So I'd really encourage you to pay attention to all the ideas, and you may even want to write them down just as an inspiration piece. But until your decision-making strategy comes along and affirms for you through response or invitation or impact or surprise and awe and delight that yes, this is the path for you to take, I would encourage you not to waste your energy on jumping on board to every single idea that's going to pop into your field at the moment. We're going to be moving into the new year soon, not only the traditional new year, but also the human design or rave new year, which really comes towards the end of January. And so possibly these ideas that are coming to you at the moment are potential inspirations for what may come for you down the track. But remember, don't step into action. Don't submit to the pressure, because you're going to be feeling this pressure to do something with these ideas. Don't submit to that pressure, and learn to wait and to get into the correct timing and alignment of when is it time to step into something. And in the meantime, just share your ideas when it's correct for you to do that, and then you can have this capacity to be a great teacher for others. You don't need to do anything, you can just share. So the other piece I wanted to touch on was the element of peace. Now, because this is a trait that brings this energy of peace, one can't really live in peace without self-love, without fully loving yourself. And so this week's another opportunity to really take a look at how have I embraced this deep sense of love in my life, because peace is only going to come for me when I can love the way that I'm designed, the way that I operate, and all this uniqueness about me, and I can move through life in this feeling of peace because I've embraced and surrendered into self-love. And next week we're going to be talking about trait 10, which will give you some more insight into the self-love. So over this week, as we're experiencing the trait 11 of ideas, just notice the ideas that are coming up. Notice what selective seeing you're doing. How subjective are you being, and how selective is what you see in the world. What beliefs and belief systems have become a part of your life which really don't serve you? Which of them are is it time to shed those beliefs and belief systems, which are highly likely that they were created from some idea in the past, which was attained through selective, subjective seeing. And if it's not healthy for you, then, this is a great time. It's a time at the end of shedding and letting go and just evaluating, what is working and what's not working. Really just embrace the ideas for their inspiration and reflective capacity, and don't feel pressured into doing anything with them. And, if you feel pressure to impulsively just start sharing and telling stories, just watch that, and if you can, stop if it's not correct for you and wait until it's the correct moment. When you wait for your recognition and your invitation and the impact and the surprise and awe in your life, you can just be the teacher of these ideas coming through. You can share them in a healthy and authentic way that could really inspire someone else's life. And that may be enough. Just be really careful about using any ideas that come to you at the moment as something to do, like a to-do list of some kind. If you are interested, over the coming weeks, we're going to be stepping through the various stages leading up to the Human Design or Rave New Year, as that falls actually towards the end of January. And it's all about really aligning and checking and reflecting back and ensuring that all the different elements are in place as you step into the fresh new cycle of energy for the new year. And I've got a separate series on this, which I will put a link in the notes below that you can follow along with. If you have any comments or stories to share about the trait 11 of ideas and how it's showing up for you and what you see as this energy is moving through at the moment, please pop it in the comments below. And next week we are going to be taking a look at trait 10, which is all around behavior of the self and some self-love in there too. So please hit on the subscribe button, and then you'll be automatically notified of what's coming next. In the meantime, I hope you have a great time this week, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. My name's Lynda Gaiao. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now.